This is a brand new world. I don't know what this world has in store for me. I did add a few mods, one of them being Biome Aplenty. This mod adds over 50 new biomes I've never explored before, like this really cool volcano, or this giant flower biome. I also added a mini map that shows my surroundings, and a tree falling mod for convenience. But this mod doesn't work for trees over 100 blocks. And a few extra mods. Here's the mod list if you want to know. Now let's get started. I spawned on this cobble and moss mountainside, and just started looking around to see what was in the area. One of the first things I see are these spruce trees further up the mountain. I quickly grabbed some moss blocks, because I always like having moss blocks right off the bat, when I noticed these weird colored trees right at the bottom of the mountain. I've never seen these trees before, so those are the trees I'm going for first. On my way down I noticed this exposed iron. I'll be back for that later. When I made it to the trees, I did what one must do, and started punching this tree so I can make a crafting table, and then an axe so I don't have to painfully punch any more trees. We can easily cut down trees with this. Oh yeah, and these were maple trees by the way. Now that we're done with that, we can shift our focus to the iron that we seen earlier, by crafting our first pickaxe. There's always something special about the first wood pickaxe of the world. I don't know why, but there just is. Let's collect up some of this cobblestone so we can make ourselves a stone pickaxe. Now that we have the right pickaxe, it's time for iron. Before I had noticed, it became nighttime, and a hostile mob started spawning. I fought off these two spiders pretty easily. Then I almost got sneak attacked by this baby zombie. I can say I've never had an easy time with these guys, but who really does? This is the point when I started realizing I forgot to collect food earlier, and with only 4 hearts I was pretty nervous about wandering around at night. When I saw the skeleton I got scared, and decided to execute the greatest day 1 strat ever made, digging a hole and hiding there for the night. Well, it's almost morning now. Since I was stuck in here with nothing to do, I decided to smelt the iron I got yesterday. We almost have a half a stack of iron, which is pretty good for day 1. But I'm ready to get out of here and get some food. I don't know why. For some reason I only wanted pork. So I just wandered around the forest, grabbing anything I thought might be edible. Until I run into something I can. I finally ran into some sheep and pigs, so I grabbed my shears I made yesterday and started collecting wool so I can have a bed later. After I had enough wool, I targeted the pigs. I placed the furnace down to cook the meat. With a snack in hand, I started to think I need to find where I want to build a base, so I look around to see what direction I would like to go. While I was looking at the surrounding areas, I remembered I had a map mod installed, so I opened the map. I can see everywhere I've been, and noticed a ruined portal that I never checked out, so I head that way. When I arrived, I grabbed a bucket of lava and started looking for the chest. I didn't notice the chest, So for some reason I thought it was under the lava, and started trying to get rid of the lava. Until I realized it was right there. Unfortunately, the chest was pretty dry and didn't have much. I took what I wanted and threw in whatever junk I had in my inventory and continued off in a random direction. After a little, I found myself coming to this weird purple forest. I like these trees and the fact that they are purple. My tree falling mod didn't work on this tree though, so I had to cut the whole thing down one block at a time. This biome kinda had a creepy air to it with the darker colors, and it sounds almost silent with wind blowing once in a while. By the time I finished cutting down the tree, it had become night, so I quickly collected the wooden saplings and made a bed so I can sleep through the night. When I woke up, the zombie was chasing me, so I tactically jumped backwards into the water. Now that I'm in the right position, I charged at the zombie and killed it. Then I kept exploring. Then I seen these giant flowers in the distance. They look just as cool close up, and you know I needed to see if I can craft them into planks. They don't though, so I'll just put that back. While continuing to admire the flower, I noticed a little blue thing flying around in the air. It was an ally. I don't normally see or use these guys, so I'm not sure how they work. I eventually figured it out. I decided to bring it along. It seems to follow you when it has an item, and kept moving along until I remember I had a map mod. While I was looking at the map, I noticed this clearing and thought that might be a good spot to set up a base, so that was the way I headed. When I arrived to the area, I could just tell it was the place I wanted to put my base. So I killed a couple of pigs for some meat and started looking around to see where I wanted to put my first temporary build. The big thing I liked about the area, it was a clearing among a redwood forest. The one negative is that it's not that flat and it has holes everywhere, but that should be fine with a little bit of terraforming. It will turn out pretty nice. I got a little distracted and started playing with the ally, just throwing flowers, so it would chase me, trying to throw them back at me. By the time I was done, it was night, so I took a nap to pass the night. At this point I had an idea and a spot picked out. Nothing too extreme, but I do need wool for the build, so I spent about half the day collecting wool from every sheep in the area. Now that I have what I need, I can start putting up the build. Yep, a tent, but this is too small. This is more of the size I wanted, so let's get things moved in, starting with this bed. Add some carpet to make it more cozy, and some chests for storage on the side. This is definitely what I wanted. Now time to add some other details. Yes, it's coming together. Let's move the items to the other chest. And add at least one light source. And finished. I really like this, and think it's a really nice temporary base to start with. Of course this build's not going to stay forever. Once I start working on the rest of the area, I'll build a more proper starting home. For now, this is going to have to do. This is the end of the video. Thanks for making it all the way here. I'll be back with a new episode, so make sure to sub so you don't miss out.